So
Mm-hmm.
again, um, I want to summarize that uh, it this is regarding ISO 27001. So basically, what happens? Let me open my master ISO 27001 document here. This one. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, body of ISO 27001, it is divided in two parts. First, start with the clauses part. Second, started with the annexures part. So two components, somebody has saying that two components of ISO, right? Spelling may be mistake. Uh, Somebody generally asks that, right? How many elements in ISO? Or somebody has asked that, right? What are the parts of ISO 27001? So basically, ISO is divided into two columns or two parts. Basically, it starts with the clauses, and second one is the annex part. Uh, Whenever we start anything in ISO 27001, it's always starts with the planning phases. It's always starts with the planning phases. Okay. So this planning phases comes under the clauses. So basically, clauses talks about that this helps us to this helps us to implement, to build, maintain, and continually improve the information security management system. Because our main goal is to implement the security postures in organization. This is our main goal. Or we are implementing the security to make our data safe. Or I can also say that my ultimate target is to protect my data, or I need to ensure that my data would be a part of the confidentiality, integrity, and availability part. Spelling may be mistake. My keyboard is not properly working, so I really excuse for that. So, okay. So, and always, clauses suggest that how to implement the ISMS in organization. So always it starts with the planning part, this part. Always it starts with the introduction part because you cannot start anything without intro. You cannot start anything without knowing the scopes. You cannot start anything without taking any references, any foundation or base, and terms and definitions part. So these are the 10 total rules we can say. These total 10 rules are required to deploy the ISMS or ISO in organization part. These all 10 comes under the clauses part because these all 10 are a part of the planning phase of the organization. 0 talks about intro, 1 talks about scope, 2 talks about normative references, 3 talks about terms and definitions, 4 about context of organization. So I'm just
Okay.
writing all these things here. Yes. 0 to 3. 0 to 3, right? 0 is called introduction part, 1 is called scope part, 2 is called normative references part, and 3 is called the terms and definitions. Okay. Uh, okay. Any doubt till here, or any you want to highlight something which you out of your understanding you can please
Mm,
highlight till here.
yeah, so far, okay. What fourth one? I have doubt. There are four. Under
Okay.
four, there are four different sections, right? So that is how I have a doubt. Mm.
Okay, fourth means this part, and clauses number four, context of
Next of,
organization,
yeah,
right?
next of organization. Yes.
All right, okay. We will come to that part. So I believe we are good to proceed further. Let's start with the 0 to 3 part. So ISO is saying that here actually the candidates are, in a confusing state because as per
Mm,
ISO 27001, 0
mm,
to 3 are not mandatory
yeah,
as per ISO. But to implement ISO, right, you cannot proceed without
yeah,
knowing the scope, right, without knowing the services. So how it is
yeah,
possible? I'm repeating my question. I'm repeating my question here. 0 to 3 ISO is saying that these are not mandatory. But without knowing the scope,
yeah.
without knowing the introduction of a company, right? How can you implement the ISMS? Do you want to counter? What's your opinion here?
It should be the introduction part should be clear. The basic part should be clear, and then only we can move further. We can put correct what is that what you call implementations.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, the ISO is actually releasing the statement on the basis of implementations. On the basis of
Yes.
implementation. So, ISO is saying that, right, 0 to 3 not required from implementation point of view, right? ISO
Yeah.
is saying that 0 to 3 not required from implementation point of view
Mm,
because right, let's take an example here, right?
mm,
You are implementing ISMS for HDFC Bank or any other organization, right? I am taking example of HDFC Bank as a reference, right? Zero is
yeah.
scope part.
Yeah.
Zero is intro part, scope part, right?
Introduction.
Correct. So introduction part, there is nothing to implement with respect to intro part. Scope part, you cannot implement any scope part. These all details, right? Introduction, scope parts, right? You need to collect from HDFC single point of contact because, uh, you know, uh, all these documents like, right, what is the introduction of HDFC Bank, right? What scope covered by the HDFC Bank,
Mm.
all these things you need to collect from the
Single point of contact.
correct
Mm,
HDFC SPOC, right? There is
mm.
nothing required to implement anything in this because
Right.
yes, because um and now what you will implement in scope and intro, right? Nothing required. Actual actual implementation start from the clause number 4.
Fine.
Here's clause number 4. That's
Yes.
why I'm going to present one official document here.
Mhm.
Let me share trainings part, ISO part, mm, this part. Okay. This is called the statement of applicability. Statement of applicability means what controls, what areas are applicable for a company, right? It
Mhm.
covers, this is a format. It covers, clauses requirements and it also covers the annexures requirements. Okay. So this
Okay.
document is a summary of, you can also say that this document is the list of controls applicable for an
Mhm.
organization. Right. 0 to 3 are not included in implementation part because there is nothing to implement in 0, 2 and a 3 part, right? As we discussed,
Mhm.
that is why they
Yes.
started. That is why they started from 4. That is why
Four.
they
Okay.
started from 4. So let's discuss why they started from fourth. This is very important because clause number 4 talks about the context of organization. This clause is called the backbone of organization.
Mm.
Why? Because because organization's policies are depend on clause number 4. So before explaining the context of organization part, right? I have a question that how you make the rules actually, how you make the rules, or
What rule? Okay.
I can say that on what basis, right? You develop the rule,
Mm-hmm.
on what ground base you develop the rule. Any opinion of this question? Mm-hmm.
For this we should get for this we should have a idea about first three clauses.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
What is the organization do? What business they are doing?
Mm-hmm. Okay. You are going good.
Yeah. What else?
Okay. The basic fundamental of making the rule, right? The basic fundamental of developing the rule, right? On the ground of on the ground of impact,
Impact. Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Means those factors who can affect our organization, right? We need to make a rule for that. Example, right? Example. Okay. There is a person called Rahul, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rahul is staying in a very remote area, okay, where, uh, you know, because of this remote area, right, high chances of thief, right? High chances of, right, or high risk of the theft or something like. So Rahul is clearly knowing that I need to make a counter for this. So what is the chance, right? Either he can implement a CCTV, for example, right? Or
Yes.
or
Uh,
you can hire a watchman. Why? Because of impact. Because of impact. So what is the loophole here? Loophole is the remote area, and because of this, right, the chances of the theft of the belongings is high. S- and that is why
yeah.
by considering the impact, right, he makes a rule, right? He deploy the controls, he restrict something, right? Or either he can purchase, right, good quality of lock, for example, right? Or some restrictions, right, so that he can stop this impact.
And
Exactly in the same way, right? We are making a rule for organizations.
it's
Rule
on the
for
impact here.
correct. In a similar way, so I'm just, I'm erasing this example from here. Okay. We are originally discussing the context of organization. In the same way, right? What
Mm,
factors, right?
mm,
What factors who can affect our organization? right? And accordingly, I need to make a rule for this.
mm,
And rule means I can say that policies initially, right? When we make this rule approved from the management, it's converted to policies.
mhm,
That's it. So first we need to
mm.
understand that what are the factors who can affect our security of organization. I'm just adding few things here, right?
Secure.
Security of correct. Security of organizations. What are the factors who are responsible for loss for our organization? It would be operational, it would be financial, it would be reputational. All these would be a part of the policies,
Mm,
because we will make a rule on the basis of factors who will affect. So what are the factors? So basically, you know first, before implementing this, right, we need to have a list of components of organization. So originally,
yeah.
organization is building blocks from multiple components,
Mm,
which includes servers, right, which includes
mm,
network devices, right, which includes the employees, right,
mm,
which
mm,
includes for example third party also. Anything
mm.
else coming in your mind, that what are the components of organization?
Servers, network.
Servers, networks, employees, third parties, anything else if I'm missing?
Mm,
Okay.
all the
Okay,
assets.
correct. Hmm. Okay, let's say these are the top things we need to these are the components who are the building blocks of a organization, right? So we need to secure this. We need to secure this, right? We need to secure our servers. In the same way, we need to secure our networks, we need to secure our employees also, and we need to secure our third parties by assessing the due diligence part. So third party is actually coming a part of the TPRM part, right? Which is a completely a different different process.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the what are the factors who can affect the servers, right? It may be hardware, right? Hardware means hardware is supplied by the vendors, for example HPE or Dell,
Mm-hmm.
for example,
Mm,
right? Okay.
yeah.
If you want to run the servers, then internet connectivity is also required. Internet connectivity is provided by, for example, Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited, or TCL
Mm,
or Bharti Airtel, any provider you can take, right? Okay. In the
mm,
same way, you need to protect your network, right? For example, your network is managed by the Cisco or Redware, any vendor you
mm,
can take, or Palo Alto you can take, right?
mm,
And employees are managing all these things, and you are managing the third party also,
mm,
right? Correct. So you need to protect this. Means you need to make a rule for protection of servers, for protection of
mm,
networks, for the protection of employees, and protection of the third party. So these are also called the policies. Means you are making some rules, and when this rule is approved by the management, it is converted to our policies,
mm, mm.
right? So I'm summarizing once again this part, right?
Okay. Mm,
Correct. I'm summarizing this part, that what you ask in interview regarding clause number 4, because this question 100% interviewer may ask, right? Interviewer will not
mhm,
ask clause number 0, 1, 2, 3. He directly come to the point, clause number 4, because here's the actual high risk of the organization, because clause number 4 talks about, right, where to focus, right, what rules you need to make,
Mm.
what rules
Yeah.
you need, what rules you need to make, and you are making a rules on the basis of impact, right?
Mm.
Impact. So I'm just defining the clauses number 4 once again here. Like, clause number 4 means what are the factors who affect the security of organization. Spelling may be mistake. So there are actually two factors, and a number one factor is internal factor, right? Internal factors. Any idea what are the components coming in under internal factor?
Uh, Servers, no.
Correct. Ah,
Employees,
correct. So I'm saying that, servers, right? Networks, for examples,
what? Yeah. Employees,
employees or resources. Very nice. Resources
resource.
and employees. Okay. Anything else?
Anything else?
Can we say that
Product.
internal process? Because
Yeah.
if you don't
General
have,
process.
correct, because if you don't have the process, a defined and approved and effective process, right, your
Mm.
security would be impacted, right?
Yeah.
If your server
Mm.
network are not in a good posture, security impacted. If your employees are not educated what need to do, what do not need to do, right, your security
Mm.
impacted, because employees are the weakest chain, right? If you don't have any internal, and a processes that what, how to deal it, right? Employees are not knowing that for an incident, right, to whom I should reach, it impacts the
Yeah.
security part here. Okay,
Yes.
so this is an internal factor. All right. Okay. Second is external factors. Any opinion, Shane, what comes under external
TPR,
factors?
third
Okay.
party vendors,
Okay. So for TPRM,
and
I'm using short TPRM or VRM, vendor risk management. Okay. Okay. And
service provider, different service providers.
service provider. Okay.
Mm.
Service provider, I'm considering in the, TPRM also, in the
Yeah.
TPRM
Okay.
itself. Mhm.
Mm.
Means what are the external factors? External factors, you know, in a broad level, can I say that regulators who can
Yeah.
affect
Good.
our security, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Can I say that, um, you know, can I say that under external factors, right?
Hmm.
Geographic conditions
Yeah. That
can affect your security. Hmm? Okay.
geographic
And last is political
politics. Yeah. Political.
approach. Correct, right? Okay. So what we studied till time, right? Under internal factors, we have technology, we have people management, right? We have process. If all these are absent, our security impacted. In the same way, in external factors, we have TPRM, we have regulators, we have geographic, right? We have political approach. So I believe you understand, okay, this would impact the security, this would impact the even you I can understand that VRM can impact the securities, regulators can improve the security also, right? But how geographic and political are responsible to affect the security of organization.
As you
Any
said earlier, if it is in a rural place, there is a theft can happen. Like some,
correct, right.
yeah.
Uh,
And,
okay. Mm-hmm.
mm,
Okay. If I say you,
so
right, uh,
mm,
you are developing right, you have a very early stage of organization, right? If I recommend you to place your data center at Himalaya, and
yeah,
do you want to say yes? No,
no.
because Himalaya is
So,
completely out of the box place. We cannot run, right? If
yes,
I say you, Shane, could you please place your data center in blacklisted countries? I believe
that
no.
also.
That
No.
is also not possible. Correct, right? Why? Because your ultimate goal is to make your organization, profitable.
Yeah,
And by placing your organization in a rural areas, right, where there is no business, right,
yeah,
where there is no
yes,
scope of the service, right, you cannot grow more.
yeah,
You you cannot place, right, because to open the data center, right, you are investing initially, right, you need to have the resources, right, you need to correct, right, you need to purchase the assets like laptop, desktop, etc., right, you need to hire a watchman, so initially you need to invest. But if there is no
yes,
return in the form of profits, then there is no use. So geographic is this part can impact the
yes,
profit, and if there is a no profit for your organization, then your financial losses happens, and because of this, right, you need to compromise your security because of the budget, because of the budget.
yes,
Okay, this is how geographic is related to the impact of the security of organizations. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
come to the political approach. Okay, how political approach can impact the security of organization? Any opinion?
Yeah, so different countries and different political approach are coming. If it
Hmm.
is some violation is happening or war happening, we don't want to implement our offices or make our new offices in that location. And those I believe that is the political approach.
Right, right. See, political means what, right? The politicians who are running the different countries, right? I'm assuming
Yes.
that your business has a global approach.
Yeah.
Means you are dealing with different countries,
Yeah.
right? And for example, if a country applies some tariff on you,
Yeah. It will affect our business.
correct, right? If any country applied tariff or any new regulations, for example, right, then
Yeah.
it may again impact your profitable,
Yes.
correct? If your profit impacts, then you need to somewhere compromise with your security, because you
Yeah.
don't have budget, because your finance is losses, because your company is not in profit state. So this is
Mm.
how the political approach can affect the organization. This question may ask in any form. This question may ask in any form. Interviewer may ask that, right? What are the components,
Mm.
right? What are the components who can affect the GRC? It is not necessary that they may ask by targeting, clause number 4, context of organization. No, this is not mandatory, my dear friend.
Yeah.
Okay, they may ask the question in this format as well. What are the components who can affect the GRC, governance, risk, and compliance? So, many times, the candidates are
Mhm.
struggling here. So the answer is same. What are the factors who impact the GRC means ultimately they are asking the clause number 4, context of
Yeah.
organization.
Okay.
Affect the GRC means affect the organization. Very simple. Don't we divert.
Should the organization means what? Affect
Right. If question is asking affecting the GRC, governance, risk and compliance means indirectly they are saying that affecting the organization.
Mm.
The answer is same.
Yeah.
th- This part.
Yes.
Internal factors,
Yes.
external factors, give examples and try to convey the interviewer with examples. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. In the same way, right, at the later stage, right, we will discuss the interview questions later on after completing the ISO. We have our own ISO 27001 exam also, right? We
Mm-hmm.
will also discuss the JD part also, right?
Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So this part and a clause number 4 is very important from in
Yeah.
interview point of view also and from the policies preparation point of view also because you are making a policies on the basis of who can impact the organization.
Mm-hmm.
First identify the threats, then you need to protect your organization from the threats. This is the policy. Okay. uh
Okay.
i'm
Yeah.
just i'm just giving an example, right, just to relate from the context of
Mm.
organization. Okay. Okay. There is a application. Let's take example, right? There is a application, right? Anyone can easily log in the application, right?
Mm.
Application generally, right, consists of user ID and password,
Yeah.
right? So this is very
Yeah.
initial stage of login,
Mm.
right? But hackers are very
Yeah.
intelligent. They can use the brute force attack,
Mm.
right?
Yes.
Under this attack, right, they can use the multiple combination of passwords. They can use the
Yes.
multiple combination of the passwords and they can try on application, right?
Yeah.
if
Yes.
if application is getting multiple hits, right, in 1 second, for example, if a application is getting 1000 hits, right, because hacker is using the robot, they are using the bot, right, because brute force attack is not possible manually, so they are taking help from AI, artificial intelligence. That's why
Yeah.
they are putting multiple hits in 1 second, let's say 10,000 hits in 1 second. So here two
Uh,
impacts two impacts
uh,
in your application, right? If your application is very weak in load, then your application may get hanged,
yeah.
right? Because your application may get overloaded,
Yes.
right?
Because of that, our system will be hanged.
Exactly, right. Right, your system will get hanged.
Yeah.
Second, right,
Yeah.
hacker have also possibility, right, to break the passwords because they are using the multiple combination of password, right, in a very short span of time. So they also have the chances to break the passwords, right? So this hanging issue, right, this is the impact. This is the
Yes.
impact. So
This is
here, correct, right? So here, right, you are a GRC guy. You need to make a rule. You need to make a rule for hacker, right?
mm-hmm.
So that he cannot attempt the brute force attacks. Your application should not hang, your system should not hang, and hackers not break the password. You need to make some rules here, right? So what are the risks involved here? Or what are the threats, or what are the risk involved here, right? Risk involved here, right? Hacker has access to your application. That's one point, right? That's one point.
Yeah.
Means you need to monitor the IP. You need to
Yes.
yes, you need to monitor the
Mm.
IP,
Mm.
right? You need to make a rule here. That is why your SIM introduced here, my dear friend.
Sim. Yes. SIM. SIEM.
Correct.
Mm.
Spelling may be mistake of an introduce, no problem, right? So this is the impact, this is the solution, and this is the
Mm.
control. So the name of the control is like logging and monitoring. Every log should be monitored, my dear friend. Okay, this is the number one point.
Mm.
Number one. Okay, number two risk in this, right? Your application hang. Your If
Mm.
your application get hanged or your system get hanged, right? Your application won't available, right? So first thing
Yeah.
you need to ensure that, right, your application should be available in a backup form. If your primary
Mm.
application get down, then your secondary
Mm.
application should be run. So this control is called the business continuity or disaster recovery or business
Mm.
resiliency, right? we
Yeah.
will di- yes, we will discuss this part later on also in detail, but right
Mm.
now I'm just relating how to make a policies on the basis of impact, right? And point number 3, which is very important, right?
Okay.
The important is, right, you are allowing hacker to put multiple traffic in 1 second, and as a result your application get hanged.
Yes.
So make a restrictions here, right? That Autobot,
Mm.
that AI traffic block, immediately block,
Yeah.
right?
Also, we can put rate limit, right? Oh no.
Exactly right. So here you can put the traffic limit, my dear friend, because this is because DOS and DDoS, denial of the services and distributed denial of the services means
Mm.
means you need to put the traffic limit in a realistic way. A
Mm.
normal human, right, in 1 second, right, he can
Mm.
he can maximum make the traffic 2 times,
Yeah.
maximum manually 2 times, right? But in 1 second, if you are getting 510,000, that means it is generated by the AI block,
Yes.
right? You can either sim, you can implement, or you can also
Mm.
integrate. There is one technology called as SOAR here, right? We will discuss
Sorry.
later on also. And number three here, right? Only user ID and password, right? This
Mm.
only implementation of the user ID and password, right, increases the confidence of hacker that yes, I will break the application password. Why? Only user ID and password is there, na? So I will break it,
Yeah.
no problem. So add one
Mm.
security layer here.
MFA, right? Mm.
Anything you need to implement, right?
Mm.
So user ID and password are also there, right? You can add
Mm.
as either MFA implementation is very important. You need to make it either time based or
Mm.
either
Geography.
either time based or geo based. Correct. Okay. And captcha. And if
Okay.
possible, right? make a
mm,
scan of your iris or
yeah,
uh,
uh,
thumb or anything,
mm,
anything. Because if hacker got a chance to break this password, right, MFA will block this. Or for example, if MFA is also,
mm,
however, this is not possible, but I'm assuming that okay, hacker break the MFA also, then captcha, then but how will he make the iris or thumb impressions?
yeah,
Not correct, not possible to break the. So first
yeah,
analyze that what is the impact, and accordingly you introduced the solution. What is the solution? Same solution, right? Your app,
mm,
your application is not available, right? Because you
mm,
introduce backup, right? So HANA
mm,
backup policies, this part you introduced MFA or some other, I mean HANA control. So before
mm,
introducing any rule, right, first know the impact, that
yeah,
what are the threats. We need to block the threats.
mm,
So overall here, right, we need to block the hacker here, right? So we block the hackers by taking support from SIM and firewall,
yeah,
right? Because firewall is at the initial boundary,
mm,
right? This is the architecture of firewall. If I scroll it up, right, this part,
mm,
hacker will perform the attempt from internet. He is sitting
mm,
here, and this is the
mm,
external perimeters, and this is
yeah,
internal zones like application, databases, PCI zones, etc. Right?
yeah,
So if
yeah,
hacker try to attempt the traffic multiple times, right, then here the firewall, every traffic will pass through firewall. If your
mm,
firewall is healthy, if your firewall is monitoring, right,
mm,
then
mm,
block it. And firewall is integrated with SIM solution, log server here, monitoring.
yeah, yeah,
It is yeah, right. It is under the management zone. That is why it is showing here. Otherwise, your every devices are integrated with SIM, ArcSight, Splunk solution, so that every traffic will be monitored.
yeah,
So this is how you can develop the policies. Always remember, right? You are
mhm,
developing the new rules on the basis of the threats, right? If you have no threats, no means
mm,
to implement the policies.
mm.
So any questions still here? Any concerns, any comments? You are welcome to raise, please.
Yeah, nothing coming in my mind actually now. I'll go to the session again, and if any doubts comes, I'll ask tomorrow session.
Yes, please. You are welcome.
Yeah.
So, uh,
For and yeah.
so I will share this part. I will share this statement of applicability because this is the standard format, right?
Mhm,
These are the clauses
mhm,
implementations, right? This 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, 4.4, right? What is the status of applicability? Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, right?
mhm.
And accordingly, we will cover the five clause,
Fifth.
six clause, seven clause, eight clause, nine clause, 10 clause in tomorrow sessions.
Mhm.
So I will share this network architecture with you,
Okay.
right? This part, this one, and that part also. So,
Yeah.
uh, guys, uh, we are covering the multiple standards, frameworks. Those who are new, We
Mhm.
are covering ISO 27001, right? We are providing TPRM, VRM trainings. Okay. We are providing PCI DSS, right? We are providing SOC 2 also, and we are providing the GDPR and DPDPA trainings also, right? Apart from this, we are also focusing on interview preparations
Mhm.
with unlimited connects with the candidates, right? And this is only one-on-one trainings, one-on-one, because our focus is to just make you success. That is why only one-on-one or maximum, four candidates in one groups, right? So that
Mhm.
we can discuss something, right? But we generally not believe in deploying more candidates in one groups. Otherwise, it would impact the focus of the candidates, because some candidates are shy in nature. They are they feel they are feeling not comfortable when multiple candidates are available on meetings. That's why we are
Mhm.
considering here. And after completing all these, right, we have our own exam of ISO 27001 TPRM also, every security standards this part, right? And
Mhm.
once you receive the JD, right, when we completed all these things to you, right, and we are also taking demo interviews with real industry experts, right? Spelling may be mistake, guys, because my keyboard, some keyboards, some these are not in a good conditions. That's why I really apologize for this. And after this, if you get the JD, right, you can email me the JD and we will discuss the probable interview questions. And this is for unlimited times, right? And these trainings, right, are available after one switch, right? For example, you join here, right? You clear the interviews, right? And you want to make the second switch, you are welcome. If you want to make the third switch, you are welcome. And a fourth switch, again welcome, without charges,
Mhm.
right?
Okay.
For
Mhm.
any queries or anything, right? If anyone wants to join this, then you can contact me on Rajpeet Singh 901599971999. India code is +91, and you can email me on grcdecode@gmail.com. grcdecode@gmail.com. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.